Hello, fellow Walking Dead fans. Solid Dave Snake back here, continuing my reviews for the Walking Dead TV Series 8 action figures by McFarlane Toys. And in this review, we're going to go over the Bob Stooky action figure. And I was a little surprised whenever McFarlane Toys announced they were putting a Bob in Series 8, because he was one of the more minor characters in the show. However, he did start getting a lot of screen time towards the end, and of course his fate in the show filled the role for a comic book death. A different character had that death in the comic books. Of course, he absorbed that role in the show since that character was no longer on the show, Del Horvath. So, I am very happy that we did get an action figure for Bob. And the accessories he comes with from his final scene are great. I'll pull up the first one here. He comes with his own severed and barbecued and now rotting leg from whenever the termites hacked it off outside of the school by the church and were feasting on it. And that amazing final scene. And it reminds me a lot of the leg on the charred zombie, which it should kind of look like that. You see the burnt flesh, and then kind of the pink undertones and the lines in between. And even went as far as to put the maggots on here. So I guess this is from whenever Gabriel went back to that school and saw it, and it was covered in maggots. So that's a nice touch. And then nice detail on the severed end with the bone, and of course a little extra bloody around that part. So a really cool accessory. They really could have put this with Gareth in Series 7, but I find it funny they gave Bob his own severed foot. Kind of fitting since they did that in the Series 7 with Herschel giving him his own severed head. So I find that kind of funny. McFarlane Toys puts these severed pieces with the characters they go to. And he comes with an alternate look for his leg, which I'll show off here very soon. But he comes with 2 machetes as well, which a lot of people were wondering why the heck he came with 2 machetes. And whenever they were escaping Terminus, he did use 2 machetes. However, it was very brief. And they are both identical. But I will pull this one up and show you. Very different than the machete that the Series 6 and Series 8 Rick came with. Totally different look. And I'll actually pull that other machete over here and show you how different they are. So very different, and cool to get a new bladed weapon in these series. And the other one is identical to the last. So really cool, and I'm actually surprised he did not come with a pistol, because he does have a holster which will fit a lot of these Walking Dead action figure pistols. And, well, I'll show it off after I take the jacket later, but he will hold certain characters' firearms. But now I will show you the neatest feature on this Bob action figure, and that is his alternate severed leg look, which all you have to do is pull his normal leg out of that peg and hole here and stick in the new severed piece. And then you have to match up the cargo pants pocket here with the piece on the stump. And it is a little off-colored. This stump piece where the pants are is a little different color tone change than the one on the actual figure. But it does work nice, and I love having this alternate stump look. Of course, they made the stump very bloody. So pretty cool. And with that updated leg articulation all these figures have now, you can get them in a nice sitting pose with this stump in the backgrounds of your dioramas. So that looks pretty cool. Really neat feature. I always love it when McFarlane adds these severed limb features. And this piece is a little harder to remove because it's kind of harder to grab. But it just pulls off the same way and plug back in his normal leg. And now I will give you a head-to-toe look at this Bob Stooky. And they did a great job overall in this series, capturing all the actors' likenesses in these face sculpts. I think they did another great job here. Really does look a lot like Bob, especially from that side profile. That looks real good. Hair came out nice. I've got a little bit of that Morgan effect going on. With all the Series 8 Morgans, the hair seems to have these little patches not painted to kind of give it a short look. But I bet that's just a mess up on this Bob since it's only on this side. But his jacket came out really nice and is kind of almost another accessory because you can take this off. But I'll show you how to take it off. But first, let me give you an overview of it on him. A lot of pouches, nice wrinkled detail, and to take it off, you have to pull his arms back and kind of have his elbow joints pointed in, and then it will come off nice and easy. Just pull it right over those arms. And I can see a lot of customizers using this jacket for other figures. But it's nice you can get two different looks out of Bob Stooky. And I'll give you a up-close look at the jacket. However, I do find it funny, although you can get two different looks out of this Bob, it is not how he was dressed in his final scene, whenever he met his fate with those termites. Because he was wearing his army jacket during that scene. But with all the people customizing now, I'm sure a lot of people will be making that jacket how it looked in the show. That even looks good closed up. I like how they painted the zipper. That looks nice. So, kind of an extra accessory here. And of course you get Bob with a different look here. Kind of having this long john shirt on underneath. Came out nice. And even has a little extra Bowie knife sculpted in here like it's stuck in his pants. Kind of like how they did with the Series 6 Carol with that snub-nosed revolver shoved in there. And yeah, he didn't come with a pistol, but he's got a holster. And it's a nice holster as well. It'll hold other figures' pistols very easily. This is from the Woodbury Assault Rick Grimes, his pistol. And I'll show you how it fits real nicely in that holster. So it fits in there perfect. I was surprised they didn't add a pistol with Bob, since they gave him this holster. Which I'm not too upset about, since I have so many extras from all these Walking Dead action figures. But for someone that doesn't get a whole lot of them, or maybe doesn't have some extra pistols, I could see how this would be a little annoying, him not coming with one. So, really they should have included him with one, but his other accessories are so cool with the stump leg and alternate regular leg and then the charred leg. I really like those accessories, so I'm not complaining too bad. But he's got nice detail down on the pants, of course. Cargo pants. Of course, you have this cut here from where you can remove the leg, so that is a little bit of an eyesore, but not too bad. Wrinkled down below, nice detail on the shoes. I love the way McFarlane Adds that sculpted detail on the folds in the fabric. Really looks nice. These are new boots as well. I really like how these came out. Not too much detail on the bottom of the feet. So overall, a really well-made figure in Series 8 for sculpting and painting. But now let's go over his articulation. And he does have great articulation. He has a ball joint at the head, which will look that far up, that far down, rotate all the way around, and get some head tilt from side to side. Ball joint and a hinge at the shoulders, which won't go up to 90 degrees. And it's a little odd how it's cut in here. Kind of reminds me of the joint for Abraham from Series 6. But he will get full rotation all the way around. And because it is cut in here, you can get him in some nice gun holding positions, because his arms will go really far in. So that's kind of nice. And he has the same point at the elbow, ball joint and hinge. It'll rotate all the way around, go up to 90 degrees and back straight. Ball joint and hinge at the wrist, which will rotate all the way around, hinge that far up, that far down, and of course you could even pinch this point and twist it, the hinge, to where you want it. He has a cut at the waist. However, it is very minor, especially with that knife sculpted in there. So that's kind of really restricted. You can't get much rotation there. And then, of course, at the hips, you can get him to kick out with that updated leg articulation. And all the way almost up to 90 degrees. So you can get him in some nice sitting positions. And he has that extra point here that'll rotate all the way around for removing the leg. That cut there, but not on the other side, of course. And he does have a ball joint and hinge at the knees, which won't go quite up to 90 degrees, that far up, but rotate all the way around. And a ball joint and hinge down at the feet, which will only go that far down, that far up. Better than some figures. And then you can get it to rotate around. So, overall, a more minor character in the show, but he gets a great action figure. And if you're collecting all the figures in this line, you won't be disappointed with them. If you're a fan of Bob, I highly recommend picking up this action figure. But I could see where some people may not get him. And he is short-packed in the cases that these stores are getting. He's only one per case, so if you do want him, he's going to be a little harder to find. So, alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed the review, and stay tuned because I will be doing Eugene Porter up next.